Thank you for inviting me and giving me this privilege. I think every time I interact with you, I hear you now, the wisdom, the values come through. I think we all learn, and it's a privilege to be a part of this very special occasion today. A big congratulations to the class of 2026 on your graduation. I didn't attend my convocation, and it's all coming back to me, right? And I'm honored to be here today. This is your moment, and you've earned it. And I think a series of decisions have led to this day today. In a lot of ways, as I understand, for you to step back from the work that you were doing when you become comfortable with it. So you took the risk and you stepped out of your comfort zone to come back and study here, right? To gain this education. Choosing to come back and learn again, right? And with the way the world that we're seeing around us now, I think unlearning and continuous learning is going to be a part and parcel of the world that we are all experiencing even today. And experiencing for the last few years now, and I think it's only going to accelerate. And choosing to stay with the process even when things were not always clear. I totally get it. There were many occasions, from my MBA experience, there were many times I would question myself, and in your case coming with work experience and so on and so forth, I totally understand and get it. The ability to take decisions, stay with them, is what has brought you here, and it will take you much further. This day marks not just the end of a journey, but the beginning of something far greater. Earning a MBA is no mean task. There were days when things seemed to be in control, and still others when you were figuring things out along the way. For me, the most distinct memory I have of my own MBA school days was working on a project. The next day there is a submission due. That night for the group to come together, put in the all-nighter, next day land up in class and behave as it was all planned. I'm sure it resonates. I'm sure you guys have gone through it, right? And let me assure you, it's a life skill. You're going to need it many more times in your life. I still need it many times in my life. In my view, with all the news that is out there, you're actually entering a world that is defined only by endless possibilities. Beyond our borders, the geopolitical landscape that we are seeing, the climate change that we are experiencing and what it will do to new energy sources coming in, as well as what AI is expected to do to change how we live, how we work in that sense. I think India is uniquely positioned, and let me delve a little bit deeper into this. Many decades ago, we started investing in agriculture, and for the right reasons, as our population was growing and the fact that the largest part of our population is engaged in agriculture. Along the way, I think we hit the right buttons, and the fact that we are able to service the entire world today through the services boom that we've seen. I think now what we are experiencing, the digital stack that by which we are creating a services economy for ourselves, for India, and in addition to that, the fact that we've invested in infrastructure to build out roads, ports, and in the last few years, the interconnectedness, the fact that all of this is starting to come together, I think the kind of opportunities it starts to open up for us within this country. My view is the opportunities are going to be limitless. They are today. In my view, it's only going to accelerate in terms of the number of opportunities that's going to open up for all of us. Opportunities that will succeed in India will not be a version of the Western product. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit more. I think Anilji spoke about doing for India, building for India, and because most insurance companies in India are set up as joint venture with a Western, with a Japanese or an American or a European insurance company. We are 100% Indian owned, and we chose to go down that path. We felt that distribution practices, healthcare practices in India are different from the Western world. And if we try and apply some of those business models, it will actually hold us back. And with all the theory of constraint that we imposed on ourselves, and they only encourage innovation in the right way, we've grown to be the second largest health insurance company in India. Right? And I'll just talk a little bit in deep. And I'll talk a little bit about some of our learnings, experiences, and I think it also teaches you that having been through a large part of that journey, I've spent over close to 2 decades now working in the insurance space, the health insurance space, and I still realize I probably know less than 10% of what I need to know. So at every stage, I still feel challenged, and because of which I have to go back to the drawing board to read up more and talk to more people to just be able to, so that I can take the right decision, so that I'm more aware and I do what is right. For us to indigenously develop an architecture of inclusion, and I think the biggest opportunity that we have, I think the work that happened since 1991 and the fact that there has been growth of a middle class, the fact that all of us are here in this room today, there is still a billion more that we need to include. That is going to shape our lives. That is going to certainly shape your lives. The solutions that you can provide on bringing the next billion into the mainstream, and how it will change the whole economy and what it does in terms of opportunities and possibilities for you. And for that, I think the learnings that you've had here, the values that you've had here, I think are going to be invaluable. We're going to have to be close to the soil to be able to make those changes. Right? That's the only way it's going to happen. I go back to the mid-90s when I graduated. We were in an India which was still thought of as a developing country. We were still considered in many ways a third world country. And the way it reflected on us was, we would be unsure. We were underconfident in many ways. Very often we would look to the West for solutions. Many of us still wanted to go abroad to work, right? And we felt that that was a better career and possibly we would make a better life that way. For many decades actually, the standard piece has been to look at New York or London and get a solution which we can apply here. What our journey of building care health insurance taught us something different, and we realized that to win, we need to solve for the Indian consumer, and our solutions have to be in sync with the Indian consumer, their aspirations, grounded in reality. We today in India compete with almost all the large global players, and we win by recognizing, while they have massive balance sheets, our edge is our agility, our process execution, innovation, our execution, and most of all, this is our home market. This is our most important market. We have to solve for this market to be able to win. Product innovation in India, and our largest business is retail health insurance. And when we launched our business in 2012, for the first, and we benchmarked some existing players, most of them being foreign entities working in India, and our product was not taken off. And almost all of us as a leadership, we decided to get into the market, speak to our distribution partners, speak to our consumers, and learn from them as to why is it that we are not seeing the take-up rate in that sense. And very simplistically, I still remember that day in Coimbatore when 2-3 of us were in the room and we were talking to one of our agents, and he tells us that, listen, the product that you have, the consumer is not sure whether when they go to the hospital how the product will work, whether it will pay their claim or not. And I think it was so simplistically put in, but that was the heart of it. Here we had benchmarked ourselves with a global product where we had co-pay, sum limits, limited networks, and we were trying to explain those concepts, whereas the consumer just wanted a simple product. We came back, we re-architected, and the company started to take. We just simplified everything that we would do on that day. There is value to that complexity as the market matures for certain segment of customers, for some of our own customers who've been with us for a while and who need customized plans. But to be in India, you have to simplify, you have to be close to reality, and you have to be able to listen to the consumer and be able to build from it. So there have been countless learnings along the way which have been invaluable. I mean, a simple realization that most of our agents are distribution partners in India. work on health insurance as on a part-time basis. And then during the day they're running a small grocery store, and also along the way sell a few health insurance plans through the month or so. One challenge they had was that as insurance companies, we would pay them their fee, their commission only on a monthly basis. We again re-architected and said from here on, we are going to pay all our commissions on a daily basis. Right? So we just built technology solutions to enable that. And it changed the whole company. Agents who were working with other companies started walking into our company with business and wanted to rather do business with us. There were agents who were paranoid about digital and web aggregators, and I know Policy Bazaar is a neighbor here, and they would say that, across the country, what will happen to our livelihoods and so on and so forth. We just went out, something very simple, we built microsites. Careinsurance.com/Manoj's Agent Manoj's website. So Agent Manoj now sitting in Pune can sell to their customers' children in Mumbai or Delhi or wherever. And so we took away geographical, just the limitation of geography from them. And they were so confident, and business started to take off. So all I'm saying is being grounded to reality, being close to the consumer, being close to your partners, hearing from them and being able to solve for it, right, is what really leads to building, was what real innovation in this country is. I think the part that I personally have learned most from and derive most satisfaction from is the work that we've done in rural India. And today by far we are the largest player in rural India in this country. So we partner with almost 20 regional rural banks across 20 different states. And so we are there in almost every taluka in this country with the servicing that we've been able to do. And again, all of it came from, we were first trying to take a product from urban India into rural India, and it just wouldn't work. Even if we reduced prices, it was complex. But see, in urban India, when we do a health insurance plan, very often we put wait periods when a customer first time buys. In rural India, people didn't understand. They said the product is not usable yet. In urban India, and what is the requirement for health insurance is, at least the members that we are covering, if there are 4 members of a family, we must have their name, date of birth and relationship. The moment we went to rural India, and because of the premium sizes falling so significantly, there was too much friction. So we had to, the biggest call we took was, we said it will be 1 primary member plus 4. We don't know the names of those 4, but they are family members of this primary member. So taking some of those calls which international players just would not be able to do, we took some of those calls. And the returns that we got, because the law of large numbers is really what this product works on. The volumes that we've acquired, year on year, we've further reduced our premiums and further built higher volumes. So it's really about being able to, once again, and I mean, it's given me so much satisfaction today that we go into the smallest of towns, the smallest of village, the talukas that we are going to, the fact that we have large number of insured members and we are being able to service so on and so forth, has been very satisfying and has built a very valuable business for us in the whole journey. Another problem we solved, and again, we talk a lot about micro SME in this country and the fact that that really is what drives the economy in this country. Traditionally, health insurance was offered to mid and large corporates. Because once again, you could price for the group in itself, it was simple to do. Whereas micro SME is where there was maximum under-penetration. So once again, we rethought the product. We said we will have to use technology. And instead of believing that every customer will pay enough premium for their own group, now there are 100 groups that we have to acquire, out of which 25 or 30 may take claims more than premium, but eventually the whole group dynamic is going to operate and is going to pay for itself. So once again, appending the whole underwriting model, the pricing model, looking at fraud differently, we had to build APIs and integrate with the EPFO to validate whether those individuals are employees of that organization. So we had to solve the problem through many other ways, and technology today fortunately allows us that we've been able to solve for it, and now we do almost 25,000 plus corporates, and it's become one of the most vibrant businesses within the company that's growing. So once again, step by step, just taking on some of those challenges and solving for India, solving for our home market, and looking at it differently, not the way it is done in the outside world, with what will work in this country. And let me assure you, what technology is doing is it is giving us the capability to do some of this, making it viable to do some of this. And I think, as I hear a lot of you come in from technology background, so on and so forth, Your ability to take that learning, what you've learned here, to mainstream India and to be able to solve for real problems is real. It's invaluable, let me assure you. So the world is going to constantly throw spreadsheets at you, but actually India needs your soul. You've been trained at soil to see the whole, to balance the cold logic of the balance sheet with the warm reality of human impact. Do not leave those Gita lessons in the classroom. Take that wisdom into corporate boardrooms. Go out and solve the problems that are unique to this soil. Build with empathy, lead with resilience, and never forget that you're the architects of the new India, the new world order. As you prepare to apply some of the lessons that you've learned here, I want you to make a mental shift on one very important aspect. And it took me a while as a professional to understand this. Up till now, and especially in this, and some of you because of your work, most of you because of your work ex will, I think, will resonate even better. Our parents provide us a protection layer. Our faculty, our teachers here, again protect us. We somehow limit our world in an academic environment to this whole concept of relative grading. We end up competing with each other. Success is scarce. One of us has to be number one. We're all benchmarking against each other and competing with each other. As you step out of these gates, you're entering a world of unlimited opportunities. My request is don't limit yourself. The biggest mistake you can make is taking that classroom competition into the corporate world. In a real organization, if you try to optimize only your specific function or your specific deliverable at the expense of your colleague, the entire mission is going to fail. Stop trying to be the best in the room and start being a person who makes the room better. It's going to be most important, let me assure you. In the real world, someone else's success does not diminish yours. It creates the platform for your success. There may be times when results may take time to show up. Your efforts may not be recognized for a long period of time. I have seen peers, I have seen my seniors, I have seen myself at times go through a few years where in my mind I'm putting the right effort, I think I'm making progress, I think I'm learning, I think the company is growing, but I am not getting the growth that I'm looking for. And it's through this experience I'm sharing with you, I have inherent faith. Good organizations have the ability to identify. They themselves have a way of purging out suboptimal behaviors. You have to keep the faith. You have to be resilient through phases like that. Becoming cynical has to be avoided at all costs. We cannot afford to be cynical. Come what may. We have to keep that faith. We have to continue to work with purity. Results will follow. Growth will happen. I sense, while there is excitement, and like Anilji referred and so on, I sense the anxiety as well in the room. Who got placed on day zero, who has still not been placed, who's got the highest CTC up till now, who is still waiting. Let us understand the truth. Success cannot be measured on day zero. It can only be assessed at the end of the journey. A career isn't a 100-meter sprint. It's an ultramarathon. Don't let a day two job or the wait for the right job make you feel like a day two leader. 30 years ago, when I was starting out, the roles that define our economy today did not even exist. They did not exist. We didn't have fintech. We did not have digital transformation. Most of you will end up leading companies and industries that haven't been invented yet. I've seen that in my lifetime. And which is why I can very confidently say this is going to happen to you. Focus on passionately executing on the opportunities presented to you. Being the best in the world at that. Your sincerity, your commitment is paramount. That is the only sure formula for long-term success. You have to stay the course. You have to last. You have to play the long game. It will happen. Success will happen. Keep that faith. When we meet someone a few years in their career, we don't know and we don't ask what day they were placed on. What we see is how they think, how they handle responsibility, how they handle ambiguity, how they solve problems. That's what stays. So where you start matters far less than how you move forward. Over the years, we've seen people who are consistent and follow through do what they say that they will. They make things easier for others. And if you look at it over time, it's usually this group of people that grows. Because when something important comes up, you don't just ask who's the smartest person in the room. You ask who I can trust to handle this. And usually everyone in the room already knows the answer. This set of people intuitively understand the difference. And having been a health insurance professional for over...
Yeah, we already joined. But our volume is too low.
Okay.
But we connected the earphones and
some people on the Zoom.
Okay.
So, Dillai, will you take care of this audio system? Can you take care of it?
And I learned this, and after over 2 decades of health insurance, even my humor is around health insurance and jokes therein. I'm going to ask somebody, one of the students here, to just anybody, can you spell illness for me? Anyone? Can you spell wellness for me? Do we realize the difference between illness and wellness? The I is replaced by the we. And that's been my biggest learning of working over the last 3 decades. The preamble of our constitution starts with we the citizens. Till the time we make it about ourselves, we are always failing, we are lacking, and even if we are getting results, we are not happy. The moment we make it about the team, we make it about the organization, we make it about the community, the kind of strength we get, the joy we get in making progress, even our ability to take in failures. Our maximum strength comes from within, our own families, our own teams. That is what gives you maximum strength. There will be unknowns, there will be uncontrollables. It may be a placement today, it will be another issue tomorrow. But if you are secure within, if your families, you believe in them, if your team you believe in, if your close friends, your community stands with you, you can take on the world. It's always our strength is within, never outside. Finally, let me end with something very simple, but something that will matter more with time. The people that you're sitting with here today in this room.
have you seen us there?
The people that you're sitting here with today, right now, this is your badge. Over time, this will become your support system. A group you can reach out to without explanation. A group that understands your journey, that understands your context. Even our parents sometimes don't understand our context. And especially with time, this group always will. It's your safe zone. This is where you get unconditional support and love. Even today, some of my strongest relationships have come from this phase. Stay connected to it, you will draw strength from it. Best wishes, thank you, congratulations again.